Welcome back to Recruiter.com. In this next video, we're going to be taking wildcards, question marks, and dates and combining them within math formulas. Now we're back to this same May invoices data table, and what we're trying to do is use these wildcards, question marks, and dates using math formulas. So I've really just put together some sum-if formulas that we can take a peek and see how an asterisk will affect the formula. Let's start by taking a peek into this sum-if formula, and the criteria range is the product description, and the criteria that we're running against that range is this PAL, short for palette, with an asterisk. So the asterisk, again, it's a wild card, meaning it can be anything after this. So it doesn't need to be, like right here, palette. It doesn't need to be the 2x4x8. It could be the 4x8 ply. So as long as it has PAL at the beginning, it's going to sum those rows. Now, I could also switch it up and say an asterisk at the beginning and then put in here, so something like the word of, OF. So as long as it contains of, doesn't matter what's at the beginning of the statement or at the end of the statement, but as long as it has of within it, the formula will sum it. So let me hit enter, and you can see that every single row here has of in the product description. Now if I change it and make it a little bit more specific, like saying if it has FA for fabric or fastener, let's see how many return this time. This amount. So using these asterisks, it's a pretty cool way to filter for data. So let's go ahead and move on to the question marks. And as you can see here, it's the same formula. It's the same product description range for the criteria range. But the criteria that it's looking at right here is a whole bunch of question marks, and that probably may not make sense to you right now. So what Excel is doing right now is saying, all right, the user understands that there's a whole bunch of characters that need to be here, and precisely this is 11 question marks. So we're telling Excel that we know that the criteria that we're looking for has 11 characters, but we just don't know what those are. So Excel says, all right, well, any product description that specifically has 11 characters perfectly within it will get summed. So when I hit enter, it's saying those 11 characters turned out to be just under $200, actually $199.75 specifically. That is actually this row right here, box of nuts. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 characters, just like my 11 question marks. Therefore, Excel picked up this row. We can simply change this by just adding an extra question mark saying, actually, there's only 12 characters, not 11. And it changes to 119.94, which is a combination of something in here. I'm not quite sure what, but there is several product descriptions with 12 characters in it. And Excel is returning the amount respective to that. Let's go ahead and move into dates. And as you can see, it's actually summing the entire table so far. It's the same number as the sum. And when I open it up, I'm using that sum-if formula. And this range, I've actually added a new column, if you haven't noticed, this date column. And the date column is then being filtered with this criteria saying, hey, the date must be greater than the 1st of January in 2016 to go ahead and add. And since all of the rows here are greater than that amount, then that means that all of the rows are summed, just as you can see here. But what if I go ahead and change it to, let's say, the 15th, the middle of the month? Then it's not the exact same. I'm only filtering for those dates that are greater than the 15th. So this is how you would write it, and just want to make a note that it is within double quotes, and that's telling Excel that we're talking about text. If we don't have double quotes, you can see quickly that this second range turns into black, and it's no longer being used as a reference cell, it's being used as text. So this needs to be within double quotes. Therefore, Excel pops in this red highlighted range and can read the reference cell. So that goes ahead and concludes wildcards, question marks, and dates.